Today we're going to be talking about using technology to help your trading. Listen, we got some amazing stuff to talk about. So obviously every day we're using technology. I mean, if you're day trading, you're obviously probably doing it on a phone. If you're old like me, you still use a computer. So, the emergence of electronic trading, I mean, it's like you can't trade without some piece of technology. Open outcry doesn't even exist anymore. Even if you wandered down to the New York Stock Exchange, they wouldn't let you in to trade anyway. So you have to use technology. But what we're seeing, especially with algorithms and AI, and what we're doing at StocksToTrade, and something that I'm very proud of, is what I like to call the democratization of trading technology. So let me kind of jump back a little bit. Obviously, I'm sure many of you know what a Bloomberg terminal is. They're cool, they're awesome, they're $30,000 a year, which basically makes them completely inaccessible to the average trader. I'm sure you've heard of algos, trading algos. Remember Goldman Sachs, they got all those guys arrested because they tried to take the trading code. That was a few years ago, but listen, they spend millions and millions of dollars to develop those algos. That's why they went after the guys when they took the software code. Again, inaccessible to you. AI. Okay, AI is obviously the new thing, but again, you still need an entire team of developers to turn that AI into something that you can trade with. I'm sure many of you have played with ChatGPT or Grok or whatever. If you ask it trading questions, it just says, I can't really tell you, go somewhere else. So you can build, and this is the cool thing, you can actually build AI trading on top of large language models, particularly ChatGPT and ChatGPT 4.0, which I'll talk to you about in a second, but it's custom. Like out of the box, none of these AIs will answer AI or trading related questions. So you can't afford a Bloomberg for 30 grand. I mean, maybe you can, 30 grand a year, mind you. I highly doubt you can afford millions of dollars a year to develop an algo and millions of dollars a year to develop an AI on top of large language models in ChatGPT. So when I go back to what I said a minute ago, the democratization of technology, trading technology, that is exactly what we do at StocksToTrade. So all of these technologies I'm talking about, actually I'll have the producer drop a picture in. So you'll see this picture right here is last fall. Is very neat. A bucket list item. I actually got invited to the New York Stock Exchange. Speaking of the trading floor and open outcry, listen, it's not what it used to be, but with all the guys yelling and screaming, there's only about 30 people on the floor. But as a student of history, like I'm obsessed with history. It's really my hobby, reading about history. And then I'm a trader too. So like you kind of combine the 100-year plus history of the New York Stock Exchange with trading. I mean, going in that building was a very cool experience. Like I literally got goosebumps, no BS. Like walking in and you could feel it, like just the energy that was there, even though there's barely nobody in there. But anyway, you can see I was getting interviewed by the New York Stock Exchange talking about these trading technologies that I'm about to talk to you about. It's kind of cool. I mean, this wasn't like, Joey's newsletter or Yahoo Finance or whatever. This was the New York Stock Exchange, flew me out, all expenses paid, to be interviewed to break down this technology because they'd heard about the results it's making in normal traders' lives, like versus Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, etc. So the first one, right off the bat, is StocksToTrade. Okay, StocksToTrade is the #1 day trading platform. We have a mobile app as well, and it's really, again, that democratization of technology. Bloomberg's $30,000 a year. StocksToTrade is a fraction of that. But in StocksToTrade, you get the scans, you get the charting, you get chat rooms, you get news feed, you get breaking news, you get basic level 2, okay? Level 1, basically everything financial data to trade that's massively cheaper than a Bloomberg, okay? Then the next one, which is very exciting, is our day trading algorithm called Oracle. So Oracle has been around a few years now, but we continue to refine it. And what it does, and it's pretty crazy, with one click, it scans the entire stock market, 20,000 stocks, and basically gives you the top 20 most volatile stocks. I mean, this is for day trading. Now, what's neat is typically most days About half of them are long opportunities, so stocks you would buy to sell higher, and about half of them are short selling. Like if you're familiar with short selling, you know a lot of these stocks pop and they drop, so great short selling opportunities. So right off the bat, one click, 20,000 stocks down to 20, you're given a directional bias. And that's kind of neat too, because if you're new and you're a long bias trader, you can just ignore the short selling opportunities because you're not ready yet. So now you're presented with just about 10 stocks. And then what that algorithm does is it actually collects all pre-market data. It inhales all of that data. And then it also collects the opening 3 minutes of the market day. If you're familiar with day trading, you know those opening candles are always the highest volume candles and the most volume candles, okay? And the most volatile candles. So it actually inhales all of that information, something that a human can never do. Like you can't take in thousands or hundreds of thousands of transactions and then compute from that. Then it gives you an entry signal at 9:33 a.m. And this is what's awesome. 20,000 stocks to 20 to 10, and then most days just a small handful hit the predicted entry. So you've gone from 20,000 stocks to just 3 or 4 with entries, exits, stop losses, and goals. And it does it every day with one click. And guess what? It was $3 million to develop, okay? No offense, maybe you can. I doubt you want to spend $3 million to develop a day trading algorithm. You can just get access to Oracle and use it every day with one click. Next one I want to talk about is AI. So the AI technology that I developed about a year ago, we launched it about a year ago, been crushing it. I mean, some of these, these are real stocks. So when I say swing trading, we're talking about higher price stocks. Like we had a swing trade on Ford, okay? Ford Motor Company. Most people would think one of the most boring companies in the world. Went up like 200% in a few months on Ford. Okay, we're not talking penny stocks. U.S. Steel, almost a 200% swing trade on arguably one of the oldest companies in the country that's still publicly traded. These are the types of stocks that a lot of people ignore to focus on penny stocks. I love penny stocks. When it comes to swing trading, it can be very time consuming. Now, I think that's a good thing to be diligent, do your research, but you're holding these positions for days or weeks. This is not day trading. If you're holding a position for days or weeks, you want to know what the financials are, what the potential dilution risks are. You don't want to hold stocks that need cash and need to dilute. So you need to understand the SEC filings and the financials, and you also need to read the chart. So we launched this AI that's built on top of ChatGPT. It's basically using the API and built on top. And what's wild is it was a fun process. We did this about a year ago, and I continue to teach it. But about a year ago, the team was like, hey, we're ready to build this thing, but we got to train the LLM. If you're familiar with AI, you know that they're large language models and they're trained on text. You feed them text and they learn, okay? So I actually did 10 one-hour webinars over a 10-week period where we used my swing trade process to scan, analyze, identify, and break down entries, exits, stop losses, and goals on some of these swing trades. Hour-long webinar over 10 weeks, different stock each week. Then what was wild is the team speech to text those webinars and then fed it into this LLM. And like a few days later, it was doing exactly what I did in those hour-long webinars in like a minute. And the importance of that is several things. Number one, 1 minute versus an hour. I know a lot of you guys don't have an hour. And mind you, it takes me an hour to do it. I've been doing it for 18 years. For you, no offense, it might take 3-4 times longer. If it takes you 3-4 hours to find a good trade, the day's half over. This thing does it in a minute. And guess what? It's AI. It's a computer. It doesn't miss anything. Listen, I'm a human, okay? I've refined this process over the last 18 years, but I'm human. I still forget things. I get distracted. My phone goes off. I can still miss details. By using AI, it don't miss nothing. It repeats the same exact process, thinks, and gives you the results. And what's wild is not only does it say if it's a good trade or not, this thing tells you what sector is it in, their business potential. It looks at the financials. It looks at the filing, and it even does technical analysis. I know a lot of you struggle with support, resistance, breakouts, breakdowns. This thing knows how to do technical analysis, and then it writes you a trade plan, giving you a recommended entry, a recommended stop, a recommended goal, and even does position sizing. It's called Iris. Check it out. So guys, in summary, we'll link to all of this stuff below. We'll link you to StocksToTrade. We'll link you to the daily income trader system, which is where you can get Oracle, and we'll also link you to Iris. What our goal at StocksToTrade is, as I said in the beginning, the democratization of this technology. You can't afford a $30,000 a year Bloomberg. You can't afford a $3 million algorithm on your own. You can't afford a $10 million AI. But at StocksToTrade, we can give you access to all of the same technologies at an absolute fraction of those prices. Check them out, and we'll see you next time.